Yeah, check it out. Y'all want to be on YouTube?
Yeah, hi YouTube.
See what's up. Now let's see if they get my order right. Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Will Motivation, back with another video here with my 2015 Lamborghini Huracan. I recently did a video talking about the type of credit that you need in order to buy a car like this. Now, if you saw that video, you probably saw in the comments, or maybe you're one of the people from the comments that said, hey, you know, why would you buy a Lamborghini on credit? Or there was a lot of haters that said, if you're thinking about credit, then you shouldn't be buying a Lamborghini, right? So they're basically saying, you know, if you got to finance it, you can't afford it. If you got to think about credit, then you can't afford it. And a lot of comments like that. So, you know, I thought it was an informative video where I was just sharing the type of credit score based on my research and in my own scenario, the type of credit that you would need if you did want to finance a car like this. But because of all of the hate in the video, and apparently people that are not educated on money moves and finance, there are good reasons why you might want to finance an expensive car like this. And I'm going to give you one good reason in this video. So this video is going to have like two parts, right? It's going to have the part where I break down to you why I financed this Lamborghini and basically my story with it. But then in the second part of this video, I'm going to show you an actual investment that I made with the part of the money that I actually decided to finance for this vehicle. And what I did with that cash, instead of putting it into this car, I put it into an investment property. So I'm going to take you guys on sort of a field trip. We're going to check out that actual property because I'm actually getting ready to flip it. Finally, I held on to it for a while, made some rental income with it, but I'm actually about to flip it. So yeah, we're going to check that out in this video, and I'm going to break down the numbers for you on why I financed this Lamborghini and how much money I actually made by financing it and how much I would have lost if I didn't finance it. All right, so let's go.
You remind me of someone, but I'm not gonna mention who it is. The guy who introduces his welcome to my garage. Knowledge.
Will Motivation. Will Motivation.
You're watching Will Motivation. Here is where we create, educate, and motivate. Welcome to Will Motivation.
All right, now before we get too far in this video, I want to thank you guys for actually taking the time to check this video out. My name is Will Motivation. This is my channel where I like to talk about supercars and how cars motivate people. But more importantly, like there's a lot of car channels out there that show supercars, exotic cars, Lamborghinis, doing different things and all that kind of stuff. And I do some of that on this channel. But for me, more importantly, is I like to share the knowledge that it takes to get cars like this. This car actually cost me $210,000 after it was all said and done. I actually got a warranty on it, an extended warranty on it. Car cost me $210,000. Now, I could have paid cash for it, actually. So for all those people that are saying I can't afford the car, most people who buy cars like this, I would say most of them can afford it because, and especially if they finance it, because a company or a bank doesn't want to take a risk on somebody and giving them money to finance a car like this if they don't think they can afford it. All right, so let's get that out of the way right quick. More often than not, if you got cash and you put cash into a car like this, that's two scenarios. Either you are super rich and you have cash to throw around at different things, like let's say you have a cash net worth of $10 million, then yeah, putting $200,000 into a car like this is no problem. That's one scenario, right? That's cool. But let's say you're another person where you just got $210,000 cash and you decide you want to go out and buy a Lamborghini because you can, and you put down $200,000 in cash on this vehicle. All right, now I'm sort of in the middle, right? I don't have $10 million in cash, but I also have more than $200,000 when I bought this car. So, you know, I could afford to buy this car in cash, but I consider myself to be smart with money. So I didn't I didn't actually put all of the cash down for this car. What I did is, listen closely, I traded in a Lamborghini Huracan 580-2. If you guys want to see that Lamborghini, go check out Goon Squads. They're actually rebuilding that car right now. That car gets like 1 million hits on every video that they drop. Shout out to Goon Squad. But I traded that car in. Somebody ended up buying it and wrecking it, and then they picked it up, which was super dope. But anyway, I traded that car in for this one. I had about $100,000 in equity in my 580-2, and then I put down an extra, I don't know, extra like, what was it, 50 grand roughly towards this car. And then I financed $70,000. So whatever the difference is, I'm not doing the math right in my head, but I financed this vehicle for about $73,000, something like that. Okay, so that's how much I put down on this. Well, that's how much I financed. All right. Now, what I did, instead of putting all my cash into this vehicle, I actually kept some of my cash and invested it. All right. So some of you guys might be like, well, what kind of sense does that make? Why would you invest some of it, and why would you finance some of it? Because you got to pay interest. All right, so let's look at that. What is the interest that I pay? My interest rate on this vehicle was 4.94%. I'll show you all the documents towards the end of the video. I'll show you all the numbers and everything. All right, so you don't have to follow. If you can't follow me with the numbers, just wait to the end of the video and I'll show you all the numbers. All right. So my interest rate on this vehicle was 4.94%. And annually that turns out to be, I want to say $3,800 a year in interest, which is, it's a lot of interest, right? For this car loan. All right, so that's how much I'm paying to finance the car, to basically keep my cash and do something else with my cash. Now, how much money could I make with that cash that I kept by investing it in something else? And in my particular case, I like to invest in real estate. So I took that money and I invested it in some real estate. And I'm gonna show you that real estate right now. So let's go take a little field trip. I know you guys probably get bored of seeing me walking around the car. So let's go ahead and take the car to a property that I purchased that cost me less than $73,000 that I had left over. Here it is, I'll start it up. So we're pulling up on the property right now. It's a condo. It's a condo in a suburb of Columbus, Ohio, called Blacklick. All right, so we just arrived at the condo. This is the investment property that I purchased right there. 7474 Carl Road. If you want to buy it, if you're interested in verifying the facts, this is all real. All right, so let's go check it out, right? We're gonna run through the numbers on this property so you guys can see why it would make sense for me not to put all my cash in this vehicle, why I took some of the cash and invested it. See how much money we can make, right? Let's check it out. All right, so we're inside the house. Let me see if I can turn the lights on. It's a little bit dark in here. I want you guys to see what's going on. So I just got this house painted. We had a tenant in here, so we're getting it ready, right? But I purchased this house for, well, the white looks good. Shout out to Nydia, my office, for getting this trim painted up. I'm gonna have to change the carpet out and put in some countertops. We're gonna walk through this house real fast. So we got a bathroom down here. All right. Put some light in here. But yeah, the paint's looking good. Just I gotta get some carpet though. And the floor looks pretty good too. Sometimes I change out the flooring. But anyway, all right, so now you've seen this $46,000 house, what it looks like. And this was my investment. You know, why I had some cash left over after financing this Lamborghini. and not putting all my cash into it. Bought this house, and now we're gonna go do the numbers and see if it was worth it. All right, let's go. Gotta get something to eat. Wendy's drive-thru. Let's see what happens.
I'm sorry, but that would you like today?
Can I get an apple pecan salad full? Yeah, the full with 4 salad dressings and extra pecans. Yeah, check it out. Y'all want to be on YouTube?
Yeah, I YouTube.
Now let's see if they get my order right. Yeah. Y'all got me. How'd I get it? I got it. I started a business, a software business. Then I invested in real estate. Hey, check my channel out. All right, y'all. Thanks. So I don't know if y'all can hear that, but they was asking me. It was like 3 girls in the drive-thru window. Shout out to them. They probably gonna watch this video. I gave them a card. But they asked me, what do I do for a living? How did I get this Lambo? And I gave them the short story, but I told them to check out the channel. But that's the thing about this car. Like, one of the big reasons why I do YouTube and how I justify the car is people want to know, like, what do you do? Like, so the car can inspire people. That's why I call the channel Will Motivation. It's a play on the word will. Will's my name, but wills as in cars. Like, cars motivate people, man. They want to know, people want to know how they can get a car like this, and maybe they will check out my channel and learn and get an example of one person and what they did in order to be able to afford a car like this. And what I'm trying to show you guys in this video is, it's not just being able to afford the car, it's being smart with your money. Like, being able to, like, do something smart with your money. So it's not that you just got a car, you got a nice car and that's it. Cause that's whack. if that's all you got is a nice car and that's it, that's pretty bad. So what I try to show people is have businesses that bring you income. Like, I got 3 or 4 different businesses right now that bring in income. But a lot of the money, like, that I made over the past, I invested it in real estate. And it wasn't until I invested in real estate that I could justify buying a car like this. So shout out to them young ladies at the Wendy's. Hope y'all see this video. Check out more of my videos and you'll see how not only was I able to afford this Lamborghini, but I hopefully inspire you to get some ideas on how you pursue your dreams. All right, so I took the car to run it through the wash real quick, cleaned it up. Now, before we run in the house and talk about these numbers, oh man, look at it. Man, it's white. It's kind of hard keeping this white clean. I'm gonna have to wipe it down. But anyway, so basically this house that I bought is more than covering what I'm paying in interest for the car. And in the meantime, the value of that house has been increasing. And so we're gonna go inside now and see how much that house is worth and how much I'm getting ready to make now that I'm ready to flip this particular house. All right. Shout out to my landscapers. Got my yard looking good. Shout out. Now I did my plants though, so don't think I didn't do nothing. So anyway, we're gonna see how much we could potentially make by finally selling that investment property. And that was the cash that I would have had sitting in this car, but instead I took that cash and made it go to work for me. So I'm the idiot that finances a Lamborghini, but I make $12,000 a year off that money that I didn't put into this car. I make $12,000 a year off of that investment. All right. Now, how much can I make when I actually flip that house and sell it? Let's go see. All right. So I wanted to run over the numbers with you guys so that you could see everything that I was talking about on paper and know I'm not making stuff up and, you know, just throwing out numbers from the air. I want to show you guys that if you're trying to be smart with your money, you want to invest your money. When you start playing around with hundreds of thousands of dollars, moving that kind of money into different assets or liabilities, whatever you want to call it, you want to put $200,000 into a car. You want to make sure that you can't take that $200,000 and make more money with it elsewhere, even if that means, hey, having your cake and eating it too by financing it. You know what I'm saying? Like having a car and making your money work so that you're just being smart. Because if you took that $200,000 and you stuck it in the car and then you don't have that money to invest it and an opportunity pops up and you need to take action quick, you need cash to take action quick. So I'm going to show you these numbers, right? So these are the numbers that I mentioned in the video, but let's run through them real quick. And then I'm going to show you the actual, like, you know, just backing up what I'm saying. So you guys, because a lot of people were hating, talking about, like, I don't know what I'm talking about and why you would finance something and all that kind of stuff. Here are the numbers. I bought the car for $210,000. It was a little bit less than that, but I got a warranty on it. The amount that I financed was $73,000 after my down payment, which included my trade-in car and also some cash. All right. I bought an investment property for $46,000, which I'm getting ready to show you. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and show you now the investment property. All right, here it is. We already walked through it. This is Zillow. Zillow pulls information from public records. When I bought the house, you can see that this is the picture from when it was for sale. That's a little tag in the window from HUD. This is how much Zillow thinks it's worth based on the neighboring properties, but with it being a condo, it's worth a good amount less than that by looking at comparable condos in the area. So I'm thinking I can get 110 to 120 for it, but as you can see, it's worth way more than $46,000. All right, so these are just stats on the house. They're how they calculated the home value. And a lot of people are also, you know, hating on some of my videos talking about I use Zillow. Sometimes Zillow is on point. Sometimes it's not. All right. So anyway, you just got to know what you're doing. You got to look at comparable properties. If you want the details on how you evaluate properties and all that kind of thing, check out the link to my online course in the description of this video. But let's get into these numbers. So here's how much the house was listed for when I bought it right here. And then this is how much the monthly payment is from the rental income when I turned around and rented it out. So I rented it out for $995 a month, rounded it up to $1,000 just to make the example simple. And I bought it. I actually bought it for $44,000, so I got a little bit more equity than what I was talking about. But I remember this number because I had just looked it up, $46,000. So this is the purchase price. You know, I got a little bit less than that. And this is my rent. I got, you know, that's what I get in monthly income. All right, so that's the property. Now, I had to rehab it. So I took $46,000 of my cash, bought the property. I rehabbed it, put a little bit more money in it, cash. So I had the money to rehab it, didn't have to go get a mortgage or finance it. Invested a total of $53,000, which is less than what I financed, right? So if I had the cash laying around to buy that car for $210,000, but I financed it and I used some of my cash to buy this house, let's see how it turned out. So the annual interest rate is $3,300 on this loan. All right, this is how much I have to pay the bank every year to carry this loan for this car. So that's money that I'm losing. But how much money am I making now that I got this investment property? I'm making roughly $12,000 a year. A little bit less than that because it's $995 or whatever. But I'm grossing $12,000 a year, which is way more than this. Now, after my expenses, which are, I don't have a mortgage because the house is paid off with cash. But I have to pay taxes, I got to pay insurance, and I got to pay HOA fees. And I looked that up, my actual HOA fees and tax and insurance are somewhere around $400 and something a month. So I net $7,200 a month or a year off of this property. $7,200 a year is what I'm making off of that investment. Now you got to subtract what I'm paying the bank in interest, which is this $3,300. So let's subtract $3,300. That leaves us with this. This is how much money we're making every year because we took the cash and invested it, even though we're paying the bank and we're financing. Now, if I had all of that money sitting in the Lamborghini and I didn't have that money to invest in this investment property, I would be making zero. But because I invested, I'm making $3,900 a month, and I'm able to pay my car note, pay that, the interest or whatever, and I still got some money coming in left over. Now, what happens if I sell this house? Like I showed you guys this house, Zillow thinks it's worth $200,000. It's really not worth that much based on comparable condos in the area. But I believe I can get 110 to 120 for it based on other condos and how much they sold for recently, how much they're listed for. And so that would leave us, if I sold it for 110, then the return on investment after selling this house would be around $56,000 that I would be making off of this investment, because I took my cash and invested it and financed the car. Now, after I make this ROI, I'm going to have $110,000 minus my realtor fees or whatever, closing costs or whatever. And then I'll have that money and I can pay off the Lambo, because I've been paying it down over the years. I could take that money and pay the Lambo off and have some money left over. Now, do you understand why it makes sense sometimes to finance a Lamborghini, especially if what you pay in interest to a bank is lower than what you can make with your cash? That's why people finance big, liabilities or big cars or whatever, things that don't appreciate in value. This is why people will rather finance that for cheap interest rates and then take their money and invest it in other opportunities and then, flip their money. That's the answer. So like, people who are criticizing because they don't understand finance and how to move money around and how to maximize your return on whatever you invest, it's because they don't know how to leverage money and leverage their credit. Now, if I have bad credit, what I would be paying in annual interest rates would be a lot higher, or maybe I wouldn't even be able to finance a Lamborghini. And if I wanted a Lamborghini, I would have to take all my cash and put it in a Lambo, and maybe I wouldn't have that cash sitting in the bank to be able to make an investment move, and that would be bad, right? So this is why I did the video showing people, think about, maybe you might want to finance a Lamborghini, have some cash sitting around to be able to invest it in a flip or a rental investment property or some other investment business opportunity that pops up that you need cash for, so that you can put that cash into that investment and get an ROI and later on pay off that Lambo whenever you want, and then a lot of people will say, well, Will, you shouldn't be buying a Lamborghini because if all the cash you got sitting around is enough to pay for the Lambo, that's why you finance the house. Listen, like, my message to people is be responsible with your money. All right. I'm an investor. This is my website. These are all of the properties that I have that I got some for rent, and I got a bunch of them that are leased out, bringing me rental income. So don't tell me I'm setting an example of people to be irresponsible. You should have investments before you start buying expensive cars and things that don't bring you money. You should have investments first. So what I'm trying to show you is that I have those investments, but I don't try to talk about all of the investments that I have every time I make a video, because what I'm trying to do is just make you think, because your situation might not be like mine, right? You might not have 20 investment properties sitting around. You might have 5, but you want to grow that, but you also want to have a Lambo. So, okay, I'm showing you, go ahead and get that property. You might be able to get the Lambo, but also have some money sitting around so you can buy a property and then let that money grow. And then you might even flip that property and pay off the Lambo and have some money left over. You see what I'm saying? So make smart moves with your money. That's my message. And like I said, this is not about me. This is just to make people think. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more videos with the Lambo or more videos on real estate, make sure you subscribe to this channel for all of the car content. And if you're interested in the real estate content, subscribe to Real Estate 101. See you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching today's video. There's a lot more to come. Hit that like button for me and subscribe to my channel. A lot of you guys have been asking me about when is my online course going to be ready. Well, I have good news for you. My online course is completed. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can click on that link and get a 40% discount off the course. That'll be for the first 50 students. So if you're ready to take the online course that I've basically laid out everything that I know about how to invest in real estate, click the link below or just go to www.willmotivation.com/invest. And thank you guys for taking the time out to watch today's video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.